Okay, my dear crypto and NFT degens, there is not one more second to waste in this bull market. This is the time of no sleep. This is the time where we stay in front of our laptops and our computers for 15, 16 hours a day, and people get concerned because they haven't heard of us. If your friends, that are commonly referred to as the normies, if they are not texting you and calling you, asking you, hey, RPH, where have you been? Where are you? Then something is wrong. We have entered a stage in the market where we can't wait any longer. And this is why I've come to you here to be your savior into this bull market and to make sure that we catch 10Xs, 50Xs, 100Xs, just like we did last cycle. We're going to do it again. And this time we're actually going to do it better because we're smarter, we're faster, we're more well connected. And there's no reason, if you're watching this channel, that you should not be kept up to date with really the best information that you can get in this space. My name is RPH. If you don't know who I am, RPH, aka Ready Player H. This is my Twitter. You guys can follow me at Ready Player H. I've been building businesses for nearly the past decade. Started all the way back with my social media marketing agency when I was in high school. Had my first big break on Amazon. Now I do run a portfolio company in Web 2 where we essentially serve as growth partner, help scale online companies up, SaaS, service-based businesses. This is my third cycle here in crypto. The first one, did a round trip. The second one did pretty well, caught a couple 100Xs, not too bad for myself. And now this is my third cycle where, I have a community of over 70,000 people in Discord, have over 100,000 followers on Twitter. And now I'm here for you guys on YouTube because this is the point in time where things get really craziest. Actually, one thing to keep in mind for a lot of you guys who may feel like, okay, Bitcoin's at $70,000. I don't know what to do. Maybe I already missed all of the gains in the cycle. I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely not true. And the most opportunity is actually ahead of us. The most money in a bull market is actually made at the top of the market. And now that we've crossed all-time highs, this is the time that you should be glued to your screens. This is the time where you should be watching these videos and getting the alpha, and not only looking for those projects and listening to the projects that people like myself are telling you, but to understand the fundamentals so that you can find these gems for yourself, because there is no shortage of opportunity. As you can see, there are a lot of cryptocurrencies in the market. The ones that I cover today, it's not going to be everything, right? Like if you scroll down here, there's tens of thousands, millions of cryptos that you can get into. Now, you got to be able to synthesize and analyze which ones are going to be the ones that are going to bring you the degenerate gains that you're going to bring home to your family and really just show them off to them to actually onboard them into the space as well. So without further ado, we're going to start getting right into it. We got Bitcoin here at $70,400. And again, if you've been following me on Twitter, you would have known that, we literally sniped the bottom. We were buying all types of cryptos. We were, DCAing throughout the entire bear market. We were making all the right moves to get to where we are today, where, we're sitting up quite decently in our portfolios already. But I'm here to tell you that it's not too late. Actually, this is the best time to start being risk on. This is the point in time where you more or less have the least risk and the most upside because the market's going to continue to go up. And of course, this is not financial advice. I'm only here to share my opinions with you so that, ultimately we can make massive gains together. Actually, I'm the founder of SteadyStack, co-founder of SteadyStack, and also co-founder of Stack Ventures. Our motto and our slogan is to thrive together. And so, if you were here with us in the bear market, you would have seen, if you use tools like the SteadyStack algo here, you would have clearly been able to see that we got a buy signal over here on the one-day chart all the way back at $26,000, $27,000. And we've been riding this wave. And again, we got another buy signal at around $43,000. And we've been riding this wave. Now, the reason why I make this video is because there are so many more gains to be had in this market, you simply cannot miss it. And if you're just looking in the right places, you'll realize that we're still pretty early. Miles D made an amazing thread on where we're at. And right now, he says that Grayscale believes we're currently in the middle stages of a crypto bull run. And I would agree with this. I think we're at the early to middle stages of this bull run. And again, this is where the most gains are made. So if you pay attention closely now, you're going to be able to make a lot of money with us. Even if we just look at Google Trends, this is like one of the easiest tools to look at as face value to see where we're at. You can just see that we're starting to pick up in terms of the slope of the search volume for crypto worldwide. And over here last time, I mean, when we hit, right now we're at between 34 to 55. You know, last time when we hit, if you look at this mini peak right here, it was 45, February 2021. There was still a good amount of bull market left. And so even if we go back, right, February 2021, we'll pull up the 1 month chart here, February 21. As you could see, I mean, $30,000 on a Bitcoin, and we got all the way up to 65, and then we dumped, and then we got another rip all the way back to 70K, and then we dumped. And so over here, this period between February all the way up to April, May, and then all the way back down. I mean, there were so many gains made in this period, and then back down, and then back up again. There were so many amazing, amazing gains made during that period of time. And so the first thing is, you got to realize that going forward, now that we are confirmed in a bull run, going forward, all the dips at this stage are bullish and are for buying. And I posted this on March 20th. We were actually in the middle of a 20% dip during that time. And back in 2017, you know, I mentioned dips like this, they would shake me in my boots a little bit. But now I know a longer cycle actually means more opportunity. And even when you see consolidation phases, like we're in a consolidation phase right now. And again, it's so important that we're paying attention now more than ever, because you'll be able to see Jake W. He has these amazing charts that basically show volume shelves. These are the bids that basically all the bids that are being made on different prices for all different types of assets. And for Bitcoin, I mean, there is a very strong volume shelf at around 67 to 69K. And this is one of the best predictors of price action. You know, I do firmly believe that we're going to be at about $80,000 within the next few weeks. If we aren't, which honestly, I hope we don't, which is funny to say, is because the longer the cycle goes, the better for us. The more research we get to do, the better we get to position our portfolios, and the longer of a cycle we will have. And so going back here, you know, you should want pullbacks like this. This is the best time to load up in your portfolios. And so right now, Bitcoin's at $70,000. We went down, you know, if we look at Bitcoin's chart, we went down from 74 all the way down to 60,000. So if we do 74 divided by 60, it's about a 23% drawdown, or rather 60 divided by 74. Yeah, again, a 20% drawdown. And that's the point of time, as you can see, March 20th. This is when I posted this. And so again, if you had bought even Bitcoin at this point in time, you'd be up about 15%. And if you would get into the altcoins, which we are going to review during this video, you'd likely be up even more. And again, this is the point of time that you should be glued to the screens. Okay. And even you look at Litecoin, the volume shelf at Litecoin, I mean, these bids are immaculate. I do believe we're going to see a pretty aggressive and nasty rip on Litecoin pretty shortly here. It's another one that I'd be loading up on. And again, not financial advice, it's just history rhymes, and it looks like Litecoin's about to rip, but there are so many opportunities to make 10, 20, 40, 50, even 100Xs at this stage in the cycle, just like we did last cycle, but even this time we're going to do a lot more of it. And so again, this thread by Miles D is a really, really good one. You know, Grayscale is already citing number of signals that we're in the middle of a bull market. So if anybody is telling you we are not in a bull market, you should be muting them, you should be unfollowing them, you should be blocking them, because they are not going to help you succeed in this bull market. The most money is made at the top of bull market, and we have just crossed all-time highs. So this is the point in time between 70,000 and wherever we end up going. I would say a minimum of 100,000, maybe 120, 150. If we're lucky, all the way up between 180 and 250, which I think 250 is a little bit more unlikely. But of course, I won't be complaining, because again, if you've been following on Twitter, you would know we are up degenerately on our portfolios. And again, it's just getting started. To continue going here, this is my third cycle. And, you know, I do want to give you guys some of the top picks that we have right off the bat. You know, if you want to make a very calm 2X from here, you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying ETH. For Bitcoin, I mean, we could go anywhere between 120 to 250. And so that's looking at anywhere between a 2 to 3.5X at this stage. ETH, you know, it's very likely that we're heading up towards 8,000, which again, it's a very comfortable 2X. You know, we haven't seen the Ethereum ETF come out yet. which, is nearly guaranteed that we are going to see an Ethereum ETF by the end of this cycle. We had the Bitcoin ETF earlier this cycle, and we still haven't hit the halving. We're 19 or 20 days away from the halving, which means there's a long way to go here. I mean, the average bull market is ending 350 days after the halving, which is a little bit over a year. And so we're 20 days away from that, which would give us about 370 days. Now, this bull market has started a little bit earlier than the traditional bull market does, but that doesn't mean that we don't have still a good amount of time to go. And we're going to go over some of the metrics that are really going to help us understand this. Really anything in this top 10 here, we're likely going to see anywhere between a 2 to 5x, okay? So for Bitcoin and ETH, we're looking at about a 2x from here. ETH anywhere between 8 to 12,000, Bitcoin anywhere between 120 to 250. Solana is an amazing coin to be rotating profits. If you're making money in this bull market, the last thing you want to do is be holding stables. You want to be converting those profits into a more secure coin that's going to continue to appreciate in value, right? So the coins that I've been doing that with are BNB, Solana, and AVAX. These are your coins that you make a little bit of gains, you make some profits, you rotate those profits into BNB, Solana, and AVAX, and those profits will continue to go up. Now, Solana, we've seen a ton of activity here, especially with meme coins and more active traders, because the Ethereum gas fees are just getting absolutely out of hand, and we have not seen a solution for that yet. But if we go on to Solana and we just look at the all-time chart here, we're not even back at all-time highs. And it's very likely that we at least double these all-time highs. And so if we get up to 500, you're looking at a 2.5x here, but I think we're going to go a lot higher than that. I think we're going to head towards $1,000. And then you have Avalanche down here, which, I'm actually very bullish on. We see it at a $20 billion market cap today. I actually see Avalanche getting up to around the market cap of where Solana is today. And so if we see that happen, we're looking at a comfortable 4 to 5x, right? 20 billion to around 80 billion to 100 billion. We're looking at a comfortable 4 to 5x. Another coin that I think is going to do a comfortable 4 to 5x is Dogecoin. And again, if you've been following me on Twitter, you would have known that we were buying this in the bear market at sub 10 cents. We're already up 2x on that. And I have a lot of theses for why Dogecoin does extremely well this cycle. I mean, mainly being that, the richest and smartest man in the world, Elon Musk, he has propped up Dogecoin and backed Dogecoin many a times. And if you're the smartest man in the world, you're not pushing a cryptocurrency unless you have a plan for it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Elon integrate Dogecoin in some sense. He's talked about it a lot. I don't think he's going to be done talking about it anytime soon. And so I do see Dogecoin breaking $1 this cycle. Avalanche is another coin that I do think we're going to see a comfortable 5x on here. And then another one, in the top 20 here is Chainlink. I think Chainlink is going to get well over $50 billion. You can see it's at 11 billion at the moment. I see it getting well over 50 billion. It is a little bit weak on the marketing side. It's not one that you hear about enough, but the fundamentals and the infrastructure behind Chainlink makes a lot of sense. Another coin that I think, almost always makes itself up is Litecoin. This is a very OG coin. And like I was saying earlier, if you look at Jake W's tweet, you'll see here, Litecoin, the volume shelf is getting extremely strong. It's always a lagger. And I do believe that Litecoin is going to start making a rip towards $200 very soon. So this is one that you could get in and ride up to 200. In my opinion, not with a lot of difficulty, and you might be pretty happy with it. As you see, Dog with Hat, one of the bear market favorites as a meme. This one has been absolutely doing numbers. I mean, you see in the last 7 days, it's up 120, 110%. Another coin to look at here is Render. And the reason why is we'll talk about this a little bit later, but AI is going to be a massive narrative this cycle. And so Render has been leading. It did this last cycle as well, but we should actually be looking at other coins that we think are going to do Render-like things. I mean, let's just pull up the chart here. A Render last cycle hit a high of 650, 750. Went all the way down to 50 cents, and now it's all the way back up at $10. I mean, that's a 20x from the lows. And so I do think that this has a little bit more room to grow, but more so than that, being a leader in the AI category, this is just a precursor of what's going to happen in the near future for all the rest of these AI coins. And AI is a very strong narrative that I would be looking at if I was you, looking at this market. Now, there's a lot more coins that I'd be looking at. I mean, Beam is a very strong coin in the gaming sector. You can see that it's already doing numbers early February all the way up. from 2 cents already up to 3 cents. So it's doing very well. KuCoin is one of those exchanges that has always stuck around. You can see that it's not even back at all-time highs. Of course, this is one that I think will crack all-time highs and much more than that. So this is an easy 2 to 4x in my opinion from here, like a lot of these other coins. But if you look at Akash Network, this is another one that did pretty well that last cycle. Got up to 7, not even back up at 7, which is the all-time high. And I do think that this one's going to rip up past its all-time high pretty soon here as the AI narrative picks up. I wanted to give you guys in this video more fundamentals than anything, because over the next few weeks and months, we are going to see some pretty heinous dips. I think we're headed up to 80,000 pretty soon. So this is a time to be loading your bags. But at the same time, the fear and greed index is up at 80 out of 100. And so we are going to see these nasty 20, 30, 40% dips. And as you can see in 2017, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we had 7 of these dips. And so you can expect we are going to continue to see these big dips over the course of a bull cycle. But you got to act quick, because as you can see, these dips do not last long, maybe the course of a couple weeks. And then you got to get in, you got to hold your nuts, you got to hold your conviction, you got to grow some cojones, as my high school basketball coach would say, and you got to run with it. The greatest opportunity that I think you guys are going to have over the next few months, and this is like the greatest advice that I would give for beginners, is you can look at all these coins on the market, and we're talking about 2, 4, 5, 10x's. I'll go over some coins that I think can do 10, 50, 100x's that are on the market. But the coins on the market are not actually the coins that make the most money ever. The way that you make the most money, and this is how the VCs, the venture capitalists, make the most money, is they're getting on coins before they even launch. And this is the alpha. This is the alpha. If you guys want to make the most degenerate gain, the most heinous gains, what you guys are going to be doing is you guys are going to be looking at IDOs. And right now, IDOs are blazing hot. Right now it's March 31st at the time of this recording. April, May, June. You have 3 months to be loading the bags on IDOs and make money that you've never seen in your life. We've actually already hit multiple 10 to 40x's so far. We're still looking at our 100x, but I anticipate these to be the highest ROI plays over the next 2 to 3 months. I said this in my tweet back on March 25th, but I actually would say the next 2 to 6 months. I would be looking at gaming, AI, infrastructure plays, RWAs, protocols, and NFTs that are launching coins as well. And we're getting amazing deal flow at the moment. This is actually the second cycle for gaming. So if we just go look at the different categories here, we're going to see gaming as a category. As you can see with gaming, the total market cap of gaming is $34 billion. Now, if we go back to all the cryptocurrencies, the total market cap of gaming is not even bigger than essentially same size as like a Dogecoin, XRP, and USDC. That's the entire sector of gaming. Gaming is going to get a lot bigger. You're going to see another one right up here, AI. AI, total market cap, 41 billion. And I actually think AI is going to be bigger than gaming. And the reason why is a very simple thesis. If you look at NVIDIA versus something like Activision Blizzard, NVIDIA is at a $2.26 trillion. Okay, now if we go look at something like Activision, you're gonna see $78 billion market cap. So it's very clear that AI is a much larger industry than gaming, and it's going to reflect even in cryptos as well. And you can see it's already surpassed gaming, but there's a much longer way to go. And so I actually do want to show you guys as well the total market caps. And this is why I'm saying the greatest opportunity is ahead, because when you're in a bear market, you never know when the bear market's going to end. Getting to the top here, one of the easiest charts to spot is a cup and handle. One of the easiest patterns to spot. So we had 2.82, then now we got all the way up to 2.72. We made a little bit of a handle here, dumped down to 2.49. Now we're back at 2.64. This cup and handle is about to absolutely erupt. So you'll see same thing here in 2017, 2018, we hit 705 billion. Then it took us a few years to come all the way back here, 705 billion over here in 2020. So it took us a couple of years. And then after that, what happened? We absolutely rocketed from 700 billion all the way up to 2.8 billion. Okay. Now, if we see a similar pattern here, okay, let's just go back to our quick calculator. So 2.7 divided by 0.7, it's about a 3.8x. Now, if we do 2.7 times 3.5x, we're looking at about a $9.5 trillion market cap for the entire industry. Now, I do think it's going to be a little bit less than that. Let's say it's a 2.5. We're still looking at 6.75 trillion. And I think 5 trillion is really not going to be too difficult for us to reach. So again, the greatest gains are ahead of us, and we're going to see this market cap essentially double at the bare minimum over the next few months, and really just over the course of the next year likely at this point. And so again, this is where it's best to be risk on. This is where the most opportunity is found. And specifically, IDOs are going to be those places where you're able to make the largest amount of X's. So far, my largest X on market has been around anywhere between 5 to 20X. But with the IDOs, we've already made a 44X with Portal. We've already done a 10, 15X with gaming. So there's going to be more opportunity with the IDOs than there are anywhere else to make the really savage games. And so I put together a list of the IDOs that I'm watching at the current market. We have Blood Loop, Block Game. So I've separated it by cycle, by sector. And so you see a whole bunch of games over here, which are going to absolutely cook. I mean, a lot of these for the IDO private round investors, these are going to do 5, 10, 20, 50X, likely even one of these or a couple of these will do 100X. And then we have AI and DPIN. So on gaming, we have Blood Loop, Block Games, Valeria, Games GG. This one's going to absolutely cook infrastructure play. We have Rumble Kongs, which is basically an infrastructure play for gaming. We have My Pet Hooligan, which is a very strong team backed by an amazing studio. They're going to really cook this cycle. You have Gunzilla, Ready Games, Chrono Forge, Play Ember. We have Engines of Fury. I think I missed Pixelmon on this list as well. Pixelmon's absolutely going to cook. And then you have AI, Aether, Skillful AI, Hybrid, GPU.net, Kit Protocol, Peak. These are all going to cook. And so gaming, we're actually in the second cycle for gaming. So I think gaming is going to have an eruption here. But I think after gaming, we're going to see an eruption in AI, which we've already started to see. And then after AI, I think where all the real money is going to be is in RWA. And the reason why I say this is RWA is real world assets. And if you just look at the total addressable market cap, right? Hopefully we can see right here, total market size in 2022 was 217 billion. Now let's see the TAM of AI, generative AI, 1.3 trillion. But let's look at the TAM of something like real estate. And real estate falls under real world assets. The addressable market for homes is around 2.8 trillion. So there's nothing. The global real estate market size was valued at 3.69 trillion in 2021. And so the largest market is really real world assets. And from a lot of the people that I've been hearing from, the largest industry and the largest sector in crypto is actually going to be RWA. And so actually at Steady Stack, we're building some cool infrastructure for RWA. We're also doing things with fintech, data, a little bit of AI. And so I think Steady Stack is going to do extremely well. This is my hoodie here. But we also have Lingo Coin, we have EstateX, and then we have some others here. We have Space, which is a marketplace I think is going to do quite well. It's very early, as you can see, only 10,000 followers. I wouldn't be surprised to see this at 100,000 followers pretty soon. You have Kibby, you have Easy. I think these are both going to cook as well. And so I think IDOs are actually going to be where people make the most money in this market because, VCs traditionally have always made the most market, and VCs are the ones who absolutely ape into all of these rounds. It's not very easy to get access to this stuff because you have to be extremely tapped in. But going back here, there's just so much opportunity to be able to make money on these coins. I think gaming is somewhere where I'd be looking. Pixels has been cooking. Superverse has been absolutely cooking. I think it's going to continue to. There's so many good games. So many good projects when it comes to gaming. There's a lot of good projects when it comes to AI. I think RWA is going to be massive this cycle. So we're still early. But I wanted to give you guys a higher level because, a lot of people think it's too late. And you just got to look at the easiest indexes are Google Trends and Glassnode with the on-chain analysis. And you guys will see that it's really not too late at all. If you even look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart, we're sitting at about $60,000, $70,000 at the moment here, and we're sitting in the accumulate zone. It's not too late at all. We're likely, you see in this last cycle, 2 cycles ago, we got all the way up to this red zone, where you can see 3 cycles ago, we got up above the entire rainbow. Here, we got into this red zone. Right here, we got into the orange zone. And at the least, I would expect us to get up to this yellow zone, right? And so if we're getting up to the yellow zone, we're seeing about $150,000, $160,000 Bitcoin, which again is not unlikely. That's about a 2x from here. And all of the gains are made, realistically, the most gains are made after we cross all-time highs, which again, we've just barely done. We cracked all-time highs, or we actually haven't even cracked all-time highs for the total market cap of crypto, but we have cracked all-time highs on Bitcoin. And I do believe that we're going to keep on going. So if we look at the monthly chart here, we still haven't got a green arrow. I don't know if we will. But if we look at the weekly chart, obviously we've seen quite a rip here. And so again, it's very likely that we're going to get a pullback. So you see, we got a pullback down to this line right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a pullback to this red line right here, the bottom of this band. It might take some time. We might keep on ripping towards 80,000 and then dump back down, and maybe that line's at about 60,000 by then. But if we do dump, if we do get a 20, 30, 40% dump, know that it's your best time to buy. Now, let's keep on looking at some of these indications. We'll start here with the total supply held by long-term holders. It's a very strong chart to look at. As you can see here, in 2018, we were bottomed out on this chart down here. And as you can see, we have done no bottoming of any sorts. We still have quite a bit of time to go in this market. And this is, again, where the most money is going to be made. Now, again, in 2021, we bottomed out, or we were hitting highs when this chart was bottoming out, which we have not done yet. Another indication to look at, when we crossed on this chart back here, the last time we crossed, right? And this was a cross where we went into the bear market. The last time we crossed into a bear market was right here. Then we saw a 2-year bear market. We crossed right here where Bitcoin was at about 500. Then we crossed again when Bitcoin was at about 1,200. And then we ripped all the way up to $15,000, $20,000. This is where the most gains are made. So we saw our first crossover here at around 20,000 for Bitcoin. And then we saw another crossover here at 50,000 for Bitcoin. So it's very likely that we're going to go a lot higher. And then when we top out, it's going to be the bottom. Going to be the bottom of this little valley here. We have not created a valley here. We're going to see this slope accelerate a lot faster to the downside. Now, similar chart here. This is the total supply held by short-term holders. Now, of course, the more short-term holders that are buying, we're getting closer to the top. And I do a lot of work with Web2 retail or Web2 investors. These are people who are traditionally from traditional finance, they're from real estate, and most of the money is on the sidelines. And when most of the money on the sidelines, we look at something called max pain. Max pain is upwards right now. You'll see over here, we hit this top around 2018. We hit another top over here in 2021. We're accelerating on this slope, but there's still a long way to go here. There's still a much longer way to go. So we have not hit the top here yet. Now, another chart that I would look at is the long-term holder net position chain, okay? And so you can see here that long-term holders are selling. And so last time long-term holders were selling, you'll see about here, we were midway through. I mean, Bitcoin's at 20,000. That was the prior high. And then after 20,000, we saw another 3.5x. So we're likely to see this selling get a lot more aggressive. This is the smart money. These are the long-term holders for Bitcoin. There's a lot more selling to go, guys. You see this peak over here. or you see this peak over here, we're going to get a lot more aggressive on selling. And that's going to happen once we start crossing 100K on Bitcoin. And so there's a lot longer of a way to go. You know, again, if you look at the rainbow chart, we're going to get up to 150, 160K. You know, this is a little bonus. This is Slurf. I think Slurf is another meme coin that's going to do very well this cycle. I think that this could easily do numbers, but it's a very risky one. So I'm not going to talk about that. Going back to cryptocurrencies here, I think Dogecoin is easily going to crack $1. And I think these IDOs here are going to be, a lot of them are going to be doing easily 10Xs, but 20Xs, 50Xs, and even some of them will likely do 100X. And so I would be finding out how to get into these IDOs. You know, one place that you can do something like that, you know, and the places that you want to get access to are communities. The strongest thing about NFTs are the fact that they're communities. And Steady Stack is one of these communities that what they do is they just steady stack. I mean, they're getting ahead. They're on top of all of these trends. And they're making some of the most money in this market right now. And so I would check out NFTs like Steady Stack. You know, all you got to do is go on to Magic Eden. Steady Stack is exclusive on Magic Eden. And you'll see that there's the Legends and there's the Titans, you know, still extremely accessible. I don't expect them to stay at these prices too much longer. And the reason why I say that is because NFTs always hit a peak, or at least last time we saw in the cycle, is NFTs peaked way after crypto did. And so one thing I will say is that NFTs are another place that you're going to be able to catch 10, 20, 50, 100 X's. Because as you can see here, January 2022, we started peaking out on NFTs, and there were still tons of gains being made for the following months. If you just look at search volume, right now we're at rock bottom search volume. You can see that we're just now bottoming out. This chart is going to aggressively pick up as we get into the later stages of the cycle. And there's going to be a ton of gains to be made. So I would be positioning yourself in the right NFT projects. Again, Steady Stack is the one that I would be looking at. There's a lot of opportunity to be had. And then even still, crypto, there's a lot more opportunity to be had. We are not at all-time highs yet. Once you start seeing Coinbase on the top charts, #1 downloaded on the App Store and holding, that's when you should start be looking at potentially exiting. But we're still yet to get up to near 100, even 90, 80 up on the search volume. We got a way to go. Even on Bitcoin back in 2017, we hit really highs. We hit highs over here. We hit 66. Currently we're at 42. Again, I think we have quite some ways to go. So we're not at the top. I would be looking at Google Trends. I'd be tracking Google Trends. Again, NFTs is probably your best bet to start laying some more degenerate bets if you're looking to get really early on something. Now, if you're looking to get 10, 20, 50, 100 X's in the shorter term, I'd be looking at IDOs. And again, the list of IDOs and all the IDOs that you need are right here. And I will be regularly updating this list on my Twitter. So I would follow myself at ReadyPlayerH. Now, some other accounts that I would be following are Elio Trades. He's an absolute powerhouse. He is somebody that you definitely want to be following with amazing takes throughout this bull market. Another account that, of course, I would be following is Alex Becker. He's somebody who's going to be posting tons and tons of insights that I would definitely be following. Now, another one that I would be following is Hustlepedia. Hustlepedia is somebody who has amazing insights. He's a dear friend of mine. We actually run a podcast together that you're going to see some amazing interviews over the next few months and weeks with top tier founders. And so I'd definitely be following Johnny. And then I'd be following people like Miles. And anybody who's bear posting, telling you that we're at the top or it's over, mute them, delete them, unfollow them, because they're not going to help you win. And so again, the sectors that I'd be looking at is one, gaming. But I think we are going to see a massive rip in gaming, and things are going to be moving more to AI. And after AI, one sector that I think we are early to is RWA. And I think RWA is going to be absolutely massive, because again, by TAM, total addressable market, there's nothing bigger than real estate. And so, when you look at companies like BlackRock has acquired 1% of all Bitcoin. So you go BlackRock, 1% of Bitcoin, you'll see that BlackRock has acquired over the past year 1% of all Bitcoin. There's a very popular interview by Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, going around, where he's essentially saying that that all assets are going to be tokenized, and big money, smart money is looking at where can they invest billions, if not trillions of dollars. It's going to be very hard to do that in an industry like gaming, to drop $1 trillion just all at once. Of course, the market cap of gaming is 35 trillion. I think it's going to continue to grow, but real estate's going to be a lot bigger than that. Real world assets are going to be a lot bigger than that. So I'd be looking at RWA, and I would be really searching. Now, we've given you guys a high level in this video. Where should you be looking at? What are the indicators? You should be watching the on-chain analysis on Glassnode. You should be watching Google Trends. NFTs are still extremely early. You should be definitely watching NFTs, and you should be watching IDOs, because IDOs are where the VCs and where all the people in the market, you could buy something on market and make a 5, 10, 20, even sometimes 50 or 100x, which is a lot more difficult. But with IDOs, you're very likely to be able to make those types of gains on repeat if you get into the right ones far more often. Now, another Easter egg that I'm going to leave you guys with is Bitcoin mining companies, okay? Last time when Bitcoin hit $70,000, there are stocks like Riot who hit a high of $80. There are stocks like Mara who hit a high of $80. And then there's another one that I'd be looking at, CLSK is another one that I would be looking at. CLSK hit a high of $150. Absolutely insane. And so one thing that I would say, if we just go over here, you guys are going to see that Riot, Mara are extremely undervalued at the current moment. And these are Bitcoin mining stocks that are publicly traded that I would definitely be looking at. I would definitely be looking at. You can see the ETFs, $10,000 in one day back on March 13th. I do want to show you guys this because there is a lot of money to be made on Riot, Mara, CLSK, the Bitcoin mining stocks. You guys will see like NFTs are still at rock bottoms. Riot, Mara, CLSK, these are absolutely going to cook. I think you guys should definitely have these on your watch list. We've been calling this stuff out for a while. We called out Robinhood when Robinhood was at $12, sitting at nearly $20 now. Options are up 250%. Last time Bitcoin was at 48K, which of course is a lot higher, so maybe I should repost this now. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this and rewrite this post for a later date because Bitcoin is now at 70K. So last time Bitcoin was at 70K, you'll see Riot hit a high of $80. We're sitting at $12 right now. So one play that I think is stupid obvious right now, is buying stock or options about a year out on Riot. I do believe that Riot is going to blow past all-time highs. I mean, you look at the last cycle, or 2 cycles ago, we hit between $32 and $45. And actually, last cycle, this was one of my largest gainers. I hit over 100x buying Riot under $1 per share and selling it at around $80 per share. And I think that's going to happen again. I've been absolutely loading my bags on Riot and Mara, where, $12 per share right now. This thing will get up, in my opinion, to over $80 per share. And if you buy options, I mean, this is easily a 40, 50x plus. Even if you look at Mara as well, we see $80 here. We're only sitting at about 22. It's very likely that we're going to cross this all-time high here. This was another one that I was able to make 100x on last cycle. So if you want to get up to a 50x plus, you're just buying options a year out on Mara and you're going to be sitting very, very, very pretty. Again, if you were in steady stack, you would have caught all of these plays and more because we're absolutely cooking these plays. And our head trader, who live trades every single day, he's made 7 figures almost every single year out of the last 8 years, and he's doing it every single day with our community. I mean, he got 600% on Apple in one day, 100% on Tesla in one day. He called out Riot and Mara. We made crazy gains on those already multiple times. See, in February, he made over $85,000. With CLSK, made over $300,000. There is so much money to be made in this bull market right now. You can literally make tens of years of gains in a single span of 6 to 12 months. And again, you just got to look at this one chart, which is the total market cap. The most money is going to be made during this period of time when we break all-time highs. Last time we broke, we went from 700 billion to 700 billion, and then we broke and we went all the way up to 2.6, 2.8 trillion. It's going to happen again. We're going to go cross $5 trillion global market cap. And between now and between then is when we're going to make all the gains. So hope that you guys follow along. Make sure that you like, subscribe. If you want me to keep on dropping videos, let me know in the comments. What do you want me to cover? I'm happy to go into any one of these topics more, whether that's IDOs, my top picks for cryptos that already exist, my top picks for stocks, because stocks are absolutely going to be erupting as well. PayPal is going to bang out. Baba is going to bang out. Who you guys should be following. Jake W is somebody who you could just follow and make a ton of money, honestly, because he's breaking down the volume shelves, and these volume shelves are extremely strong. Like Shopify is going to do very well. A lot of these stocks are going to do very well. As you can see, he's talking about Baba, BLNK is going to absolutely crush it. That's another one that I would be watching. As you can see here, he says, do I still have a full position in BLNK? Yes. Should you look at this trade if you're a no? But should you look further into this trade if you have a low risk tolerance? No. But we here, if you're in crypto, you have a high risk tolerance. So again, I'd be looking at BLNK. Volume shelves are alpha. There's so many things to be able to look at, and a lot of these indicators are here. Google Trends is one of the easiest. Glassnode and these indicators are some of the strongest. As you can see, we still haven't bottomed out on this valley. There's so much alpha to be had. So I hope you guys follow along, like, subscribe, and by the way, go follow me on Twitter. When I post this video up, I am going to be giving away an NFT to be able to enter our Steady Stack community. This will be an NFT that's around $1,000, between $500 and $1,000, and you guys will be able to enter the community just by entering the giveaway. So like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys want to hear more of. This is the first video that I've done in a very long time, and so hope you guys enjoy, but I have to keep up with these for you guys. And this is the point in time where the most money is going to be made. So again, this is not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes and really just entertainment purposes. We're just here to have a little bit of fun, be goons, be degens. It's 5:30 a.m. So I got to go catch some prayers and, get into the rest of my day here. But, this is absolutely the type of stuff that you should be looking at. There's so much more alpha to go through. I can make a video of my top 50 coins that I would be looking at, top 20, top 30 coins that I'd be looking at, because there is a significant amount of alpha to be had here. And again, you just got to join the right communities and be in the right spots. If you're following the people who I told you to follow, if you're following me, Ready Player H, at Ready Player H on Twitter, if you're in the right communities like Steady Stack, you're going to be able to make life-changing gains this cycle over the next 6 to 12 months. And we really hope that you're able to follow along for the ride and that you're able to catch these gains with us. So without further ado, we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. I know this was a little bit of a longer video. Hopefully on the next one, we'll condense it down a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what want to hear more of. Like, subscribe, follow on Twitter. Go enter into the giveaway. You will have to like, subscribe, and comment to be a part of that. And we will see you soon. God bless, and let's make couple hundred X's this cycle. Peace.